in 2003, the year before the Sri Singh Sahib Yogi Bhajan passed away, he worked with me on a translation of Japji Sahib that some of you might be familiar with. And over the course of several months, I would meet with him in his dome, and he would give me instructions, and sometimes it would be a conversation, about how to think about Gurbani or how to translate, think about how to translate. And other times it was him working on me, on my psyche, my consciousness, my issues. And then sometimes there were these really profound experiences with him as a yoga master. And one of those profound experiences happened one day. I was sitting at his feet in his dome, and he looked deeply into my eyes, and he started talking about what the change of ages, what the Aquarian age, what it meant, what was going to happen. And while we were talking, it wasn't so much the conversation, it was the fact that as he said things, even though we were in the dome, we weren't actually in the dome anymore. He took me into the galaxy. I know this sounds kind of crazy, but that's what happened. And everything he was describing was happening in the space, in this other dimension, while we were still sitting there in the dome together. And what he said to me is, he said, the sun and the center of the galaxy are going to align. And when he said that, I felt the center of the galaxy right here, and I felt the sun right here, like we were in some kind of subtle body planetarium. And he said, and when the sun and the center of the galaxy align, they're going to communicate with each other. And then in this space, I felt these two heavenly bodies send out a beam that met in the middle with some kind of communication going on between them. And he said, and once the sun and the center of the galaxy communicate with each other, it will change the electromagnetic field of the Earth. And she knows it. And so in that subtle space he took me in, where we were in this sort of galaxy together, I felt how that communication between the sun and the center of the galaxy was going to have a chain effect. And it was going to affect all of the planets in the solar system, and then all of those planets were going to beam onto planet Earth in a certain configuration. And once that beam happened, the electromagnetic field of the Earth was just going to, boop, it was just going to shift. It just wasn't going to be any big deal. It was like a musical note going from C to A. All of a sudden it was vibrating at one level, and then boop, it's just going to be vibrating in a different frequency. And in this cosmic play of the sun and the center of the galaxy and all the planets and the electromagnetic field of the Earth, I saw us human beings and how itty bitty teeny tiny weeny we are. And when the electromagnetic field of the Earth shifts, either our individual electromagnetic field will be able to boop, shift with it, or it won't. And for the people who can't make that shift, it's going to make them feel crazy, and that's what he said, that they're going to fall apart. So it was a very visceral experience, and it grounded me in the frequency and the vibration of what the Aquarian age is and what we're moving into. And that phase shift, that we can either shift with it or not shift with it, is about being able to perceive the divine directly in everything. So in the Piscean age, some things were God and some things weren't, which was a maya and an illusion, which the yogis could see, but the regular people couldn't. But in the Aquarian age, understanding that the divine is in everything, the divine does everything, the divine takes lots of different forms, there's lots of different plays, that experience is going to be much more accessible to the average person. And that's where the transition comes. That's where the, wow, this is different than anything we've ever known before comes in. So the Sri Singh Sahib gave, for the Aquarian age, the 24th Pori of Japji Sahib as the national anthem. How many of you all know that? Okay. So the Shabad Guru is a tool, right, that we can actually make that shift with the planet, where we don't have to stay stuck in the old way of seeing something here and something there, but really we can start to perceive the one in everything the one doing everything, the one limitless in everything, and it's that 24th Pori of Japji, which is the national anthem for the Aquarian age, that will give us a tool to help shift our frequency. And if you're blessed to be able to make the shift, if you do this technology, you can make the shift, then you serve as a light and a channel to help others shift. So in the last 2 minutes, I want to see if any of the musicians will jump up with me really quick and we can do the Antanasifty impromptu here. Anybody willing to jump up with me? Or am I going to have to do this by myself? I'm sorry? I don't know if she's here. Dave Sarup? All right. Well, I'm going to take a deep breath. I thought somebody would come up here with me. Sapadik? I should have arranged it. But I'm in the flow of the divine. It doesn't matter. Okay. But sing with me. We'll do it twice. I'll do it as badly as I can the first time, and then you sing loudly and cover me, okay? Here we go. The national anthem for the Aquarian age. Antanasifty kanana ant, antanakarna danana ant, antanave kensunana ant, antanajapak yamanamant, antanajapak kita akad, antanajapak padavad, antakadan kete balai, take antanapai jai. Eo antanajane koe, bahuta kaya bahuta hoy, vada sahib ucha thou, uche upada ucha now, evada ucha hove koe, tisa uche kaujane soe, jevada up jane up up, nanak nadari karmi dat. All right. So meditate on the 24th Pori and understand there's no limit to the forms that the divine can come into, and all you have to do is hook your little itty-bitty aura to that big change in the electromagnetic field of the earth and live as a sovereign, infinite being in human form. Satnam, and thank you for letting me share this with you today.